Here's the concept behind what I'm doing. If you were to have a car and you were to park that car for 1 year and never drive it, and then suddenly want to go drive it from Los Angeles to Sacramento and do it at an average of 70 miles per hour, you can expect that car to break down. The same idea is in the human body. You can see I'm doing joint rotations of the neck. I'm actually taking my neck through all these different rotations. Now, when was the last time you took your entire neck and moved it to its full rotation in every direction? You could see now I'm actually turning over my shoulder, just going to the right and to the left. And most people just sit at a computer and do that. Now, to get the middle back, what you do is you give yourself a big bear hug and you start rotating in the middle back. This takes some practice, and for most patients, I know this is YouTube, but it's easier to just show someone how to do this than actually visually see it, but you can probably figure it out if you're fairly smart. So what you do is you try to focus most of the rotations in your middle back, your middle thoracic spine. And again, most people's spines simply just bend forward over their telephone or their computer 8 hours a day. And then if they decide, oh, I want to get in shape, they go to CrossFit and they just destroy themselves. That's not the ideal way to do it. The ideal way to keep joints healthy is to actually rotate them. And you could see me doing this right now in my middle back. And you could see most of the motion is in the middle back, not the neck or the lower back. So keeping joints healthy requires full movement. So now what you're going to see me do is I'm going to go through my shoulder. Again, when was the last time you really raised your shoulder, rotated it backwards, turned it, and went backwards all the way? Now, these are not fast motions. What you do here is you do slow, very controlled motions. And when you do this, your brain senses what's going on inside the joints. So there are nerves called proprioceptors, and these nerves sense, position sense in a way. And what happens is, right now, even though it looks like it's not hard to do, I'm making this very slow and controlled, and I'm using my muscles to take my joints through their entire range of motion, and I'm doing it very, very slowly and rotating in many different directions. So again, getting back to the reason why we're doing this, if you have shoulder problems, I like to call this the Fonzie move, by the way. It requires that you use your infraspinatus and stretch the supraspinatus. Those exercises right there help with rotator cuff problems. I show those to almost every patient. My experience with rotator cuff problems is the person hardly even uses their full range of motion. And here you could do it at 90 degrees. Looks like you're throwing a baseball. But nonetheless, the thing is that we don't move our joints. If we don't move our joints, those joints, meaning the cartilage, will break down at an accelerated pace. When the cartilage breaks down at an accelerated pace, what you get is you get pain, you get muscular spasm, and that's the body's way to naturally try to protect the joint from instability, and you get a lifelong of problems. This is very simple. I'm using my elbows, and now I'm stretching my wrists. Of course, I'm a chiropractor, so I use my body physically. I do this in the morning to prepare my body, and then I get to the spine. Now, in the spine, I'm doing a full body cat-camel exercise. I'm going to show this on another video, but what you do is you fully try to extend your spine, and then you fully try to flex your spine. And you try to, in theory, do it one spinal unit at a time, or vertebrae. You can't actually do that, but the thing is, you try your best. You do your neck, your thoracic cage, as well as your lower back. And this is called the cat-camel. You'll recognize this from yoga. But again, if you do it a little bit each day, that's what helps tremendously. Here, I'm tightening my arms to keep my entire upper torso stable, and then I'm rotating my hips, and then I do kind of a little move there that is almost like you're bowling and throwing a bowling ball, and it really stretches the IT band area. It stretches your iliotibial band. It stretches the actual lateral hips as well. So it's a really good warm-up for your legs. And it's not in this video, but you'll see me, I'll do a little quarter squat at the bottom of this motion. but I'm doing this in a very controlled manner. Now, how many people do you know, or you yourself, have had hip replacements? And they replace your hips, but they never tell you how to train the actual muscles around the hip. Well, this would be a great exercise. If you do not want a hip replacement, then you better start doing this now, because the hips receive most of the effects of gravity, and they usually are the first thing to be replaced with artificial hips, the second being the knees. And you'll see here I'm doing the other side now. This is very, very important. Again, this is not something that you normally would do to keep your joints healthy. Most people want to buy a pill. They want to know, well, what's the one exercise I can do? And you just have to move your joints throughout the entire day. You can do this more often, but I find that at least once a day really makes a big difference. Now, again, I'm tightening my upper body to keep myself stable. I'm not doing anything artificial to help me balance. I'm just on one leg right now. And so I find that contracting my arms really helps with my balance. Now, you can hold on to a wall if you like. I find that if you practice this enough, you'll get good at it where you can do it on one leg. Now here I'm contracting the hamstrings and trying to bring my leg up as much as I can, then I fully extend the knee. And what you'll find is most people will get hamstring cramping from this. And it's a tremendous problem for a lot of people. Well, how many hamstring pulls do you hear of athletes doing? How many times have they gotten through their full range of motion? A lot of athletes, at least the ones I see in high school and stuff, they pay lip service to stretching, but don't do it a lot. Now I'm doing my ankles, and this would be the final thing that we would do. And that's how you do the full body rotations, and I recommend you just follow this routine every single day. Give it a shot. See how you like it.